I'm filming.
What are you filming?
The back gate.
Why are you filming the back gate?
So I just have an interest.
You have an interest in what?
The police station.
Okay, what sort of interest?
A public interest.
And who are you?
I'm Pinnock.
Pinnock. Okay. Have you got any ID, Pinnock?
No, sir.
None at all?
No.
Okay. You are detained for a search under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, okay?
Are you sure you want to do that?
I'm PC Door for Lewis Police Station, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
could you explain to me the grounds for the search?
Okay, stay your hands out
I'm
your
not going to
pocket
obstruct.
for
Can I
me.
put the phone down?
Can I hold your phone?
Am I still detained?
Well, you want a copy of your search?
Yeah, I certainly do, yeah. Am I still detained?
I've completed the search now, but you wanted a copy of the search?
Yes, am I still detained?
Yeah. No, you're not detained.
Okay,
no.
thank you. I haven't used this phone to
The same.
I haven't used this phone to record.
The legislation doesn't specify that.
No,
That's
you're just violating my rights, right? You're violating my rights at the moment.
Definitely not.
No, you certainly are.
What started as a man calmly filming outside a police station quickly turned into something much bigger. Officers began suggesting hostile reconnaissance, pushing for ID and stretching their authority further with every passing minute. But once the detention begins, the entire encounter starts falling apart. Suddenly, the officers are forced to explain their grounds, defend the search and justify decisions that look weaker the longer the conversation goes on. Welcome back to the channel that breaks down police encounters, public rights and real accountability. Today's footage comes from Coax, one of the sharpest auditors out there, so make sure to check out their channel linked below and show some support. As the pressure builds, the auditor stays completely calm, focused and in control, dismantling the officers' arguments piece by piece while they struggle to maintain authority. From the legality of the stop to the search itself and even pressure over his phone, every moment adds more tension and raises bigger questions. By the end of this encounter, you'll understand why this clip is getting so much attention online, because this situation spirals fast.
Yep. Okay, so first of all, can you explain the grounds?
As I just said, your presence here at the gate of the police station, filming the police station, filming the police station. You freely said to us that that's what you're doing, okay? And
Let me know before you start recording.
we're all recording. Okay?
Can you explain the
I'm
grounds
sorry,
of what you're expecting to find here?
As I just explained to you, okay?
Anything such as what?
Anything in relation to terrorist activity.
That's a little bit ambiguous. Any sort of
That's what
specific,
you guys
specific
want.
items?
That's what the legislation
I know, but
covers.
pace means you have to let me know. Like what?
Terrorism act. It's not pace.
I know, but it's a stop and search.
Yeah, that's
Under pace, there's certain regulations and guidelines that you have to
But this
abide to.
This isn't a pace search.
I understand, but pace sets the.
You can't use that in a completely empty bag.
Okay.
Do you have anything sharp on you? Anything you shouldn't have?
No, absolutely not.
I've already explained to you on piece of door from Lewis Police Station.
You
Yeah?
haven't really explained the grounds. You just said that I have an accountant, haven't given details.
Let me explain.
Search for my details. What? Is he the searching officer?
He's no, but I'm here and I can still explain that to you.
Okay, but if he's the searching officer, I would really expect him
That's
to
fine.
search.
So you're getting his details. He's already told them to you. But I'm going to be the one explaining. So the reason you're searching is under the Terrorism Act, because you're filming the police station. They're not providing us with good details, and it's raised us suspicions. You're questioned by that suspicious, and we've told you that in all our time in being here, nobody else has displayed this behaviour.
Those aren't grounds.
They are
You
grounds.
have to go on base objective, but there's no objective basis.
They are
If this
grounds
is-
under the Act.
No, they're certainly not.
They are.
Filming is not grounds.
Jack up, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't have to agree,
Yeah.
but that's just what we're telling you.
Okay, but there needs to be an objective basis for your suspicion. In order to reasonably suspect someone of being a terrorist, there needs to be an objective basis. The fact that you said no one has been here before is in no ways an objective basis. That's just something that you find unusual. I don't know.
Exactly, which raises our suspicions, and that's what forms our grounds.
I'm going to face those now.
I don't think you've gone about this very well.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
Don't you leave? Don't you leave? Don't you leave? Under this legislation, I don't have to provide you any details. You know that, don't you?
You're a Chelsea fan.
Yes. That's enough information. Understand you may be liable to be sued in a civil court.
I understand that, yeah.
You understand that? Yes. You don't seem to be too fast. You proceeded with the search.
Yes, that's right, yes, because I believe I have grounds to search you
think you
in
have
these
grounds.
circumstances.
I don't
Okay,
think
but
you
that's where we disagree with each other, isn't it?
No, but it's not an opinion. What needs to be an objective basis. You still haven't told me what you're expecting to find. Right. I'm gonna get a copy of the search note.
This is the moment legal knowledge completely shifted the balance of power. Officers treated open filming outside a police station like a terrorism concern, leaned on vague suspicion and pushed the encounter toward a search. But instead of reacting emotionally or getting intimidated by the language they were using, the auditor stayed calm, focused, and methodical. He kept bringing everything back to one simple question. What objective grounds did they actually have? That single strategy forced the officers away from assumptions and onto the law itself. And the second they struggled to clearly explain what they believed they were going to find, the entire narrative started collapsing in real time. You could actually see the confidence draining out of the stop as the conversation continued. The moment he calmly asked what exactly they expected to discover, the terrorism justification began buckling on camera. That was the turning point. No shouting, no aggression, just composure, legal literacy, and pressure placed back where it belonged. It's a powerful reminder that when you understand the threshold for police powers and calmly demand lawful grounds, authority suddenly has to explain itself instead of relying on intimidation. So what do you think? Would you have challenged that suspicion the same way he did, or stayed quiet once officers started talking about search powers?
Can I get a copy of the search slip, please?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you understand that now you may be liable to
Of course I
civil
understand that,
proceedings in a civil court
Yes, absolutely.
because you've just abused my rights.
Well, I don't think I have abused your rights, have
I
I?
think you have,
Okay.
because there were no grounds other than the fact that no one in all your time of being here has filmed a police station before. There's photography guidance on the Met Police website.
On the Met Police website?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's guidance about photographers, public photographers, and how the Terrorism Act shouldn't be used to interfere with people recording from a public place. In any case, you should be engaging with public photographers to help identify criminals.
We are engaging.
I know, so what was the reason for the search? What, because I wouldn't give my details?
But so we have explained, obviously you're being here, you haven't given us really much details.
I don't need to give you any details.
That's fine. But then you need to understand that raises our suspicions.
But if I want to, I don't have to account for my presence in a public place. Like, I could exercise my right to not even speak, and you can't interfere with me.
I don't know who you are, so I don't know if you're known to us for any reasons, okay? So how would I find that out if I don't know who you are? So you could have given us your name, your date of birth.
I don't need to, though.
But I understand that.
I don't need to assist you in an investigation, though, do I? Sorry, finish.
Okay.
Forgive me.
So we've spoken to you, we've asked you what you're doing, you've told us what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We find it a little bit bizarre. We've spoken to you, we've asked you what you're doing, you've told us what you're doing. Told us what you're doing. Told us what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We find it a little bit bizarre that someone's raised our concerns that you were recording the back of a police station. It's not really recording the area, you were standing directly by the secure gates, okay? That's suspicious to us because it doesn't happen very
Okay, but suspicion is not a crime, is it?
I didn't say it was.
You've just infringed on my rights
I didn't say
for the reasons
Again,
of...
you're not letting me finish, okay? I will finish. If you stop interrupting me, you'll understand why, okay?
Maybe.
So we could have run you through our systems. You may not be known to us, okay? But you might be known to us. How do we know that? You could be known to us for a number of things. You could be known to us for no reason. But we could have run you through the system. We could have checked that out. So at the moment, I don't know anything about you. I don't know who
but...
you are. You don't know who I am. Apart from the fact that I'm PC Cat and I work at Lewis Police Station. Okay? So how...
In this exchange, the officers tried to justify a terrorism search after the fact by labeling public filming as bizarre, pushing for personal details and treating refusal to cooperate as suspicious behavior. But the auditor never lost composure. Instead of arguing emotionally or reacting to pressure, he calmly referenced photography guidance and kept pulling the conversation back to one core issue: lawful grounds. That's what made this encounter so powerful to watch. He refused to debate feelings, assumptions, or vague instincts. Every time the officers drifted toward suspicion based on behavior or curiosity about who he was, the auditor narrowed the encounter back down to first principles. What actual objective grounds existed for the stop and search? That strategy completely exposed the weakness in the officer's logic, and you could see frustration start building as their explanations became less convincing. The real turning point came when the conversation shifted away from terrorism concerns and toward wanting his personal information for database purposes. In that moment, Control stopped sitting with the uniform and started sitting with the informed citizen, asking direct legal questions. This is what happens when vague suspicion meets someone who understands the threshold for police powers and calmly demands specifics. The justification begins collapsing under its own weight because assumptions are no longer enough. Legal clarity works like armor in situations like this. When you understand your rights and stay composed under pressure, fishing expeditions lose much of their force. Calmly ask for grounds, demand specificity, and make authority justify every intrusion properly instead of accepting vague language at face value. So what would you have done in that situation? Would you have handed over your details immediately, or kept pressing for objective grounds before accepting any search at all?
At the moment is that you're refusing to tell me your details, so I don't know anything about you, and you're recording them back in the police station.
But I don't have to assist you in an investigation. There's a case law precedent that kind of illustrates that. Rice vs. Connolly. I don't have to assist you in anything. Does that make sense? Especially considering the fact that I haven't committed an offence. Even if I was committing an offence, I'm still not obliged to assist you or hand over details.
It seems to me you're just here provoking a reaction, aren't you?
Okay, well, if that's the case, then why have you searched me under the Terrorism Act? Am I provoking you right now? I'm just explaining my position and why I feel like this wasn't necessary to do all this stuff.
Well, you may well feel that, but obviously we feel it is necessary.
Okay, so have you satisfied that I'm not here for any terrorist purpose? Can I pick up my stuff? I'm going to pick up my stuff.
Yeah.
Am I still detained?
Well, you want a copy of your search?
Yeah, I certainly do, yeah. Am I still detained?
I've completed the search now, but you wanted a copy of the search.
Yes, so am I still detained?
Yeah. No, you're not detained.
Okay,
no.
thank you. Please write me a copy of the search slip.
I'm just sending the search slip on my phone.
Okay.
I can't give you a hard copy of it.
Why not?
I could sort that out inside the police station.
If you don't mind.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'll wait. That's fine.
There'll be a time delay. Yeah.
So I'm okay to continue filming the back gate? So there's no issue now?
I mean, we will ask you to move on because there'll be other officers coming in.
Well, am I free to go?
But you can't stand there, no.
Why not?
Because you're obstructing the gate that is in constant use.
Am I free to go?
You want a copy of the search, do you not?
Yeah, but am I free to go?
You are free to go.
Alright, so I'm free to stay as well, yeah?
Kindly ask that you do move
I'm free to stay as well.
off the property.
No, I'm free to stay.
Council's ground, actually.
Yeah, okay, it's paid for by the taxpayers, public place, as you mentioned, so I don't feel like I should move anywhere.
That moment was accountability in real time. The second the search ended, the officer's entire tone changed. After speaking with authority throughout the detention, they suddenly softened their approach, admitted he was no longer detained, and tried turning a forceful stop into a polite request to move along. But the auditor stayed completely in control of the interaction. Instead of getting distracted by the change in tone, he immediately focused on the only things that mattered legally. Was he still detained? Where was the search record? And could he continue filming lawfully? That shift completely changed the balance of the encounter. Under UK stop and search procedure, officers are expected to make clear that a person is detained, explain the legal power being used, provide the grounds for the search, and if no arrest follows, offer information about obtaining a copy of the search record. Public filming of police in public places is also generally lawful as long as it does not create a genuine safety risk. That meant once the detention officially ended, he was free to leave, but he was equally free to stay and continue recording. What made this exchange so revealing was how the auditor stopped engaging with emotion entirely and focused only on legal status and procedure. The moment the officers shifted from command mode into explanation mode, the psychological balance flipped. You could hear authority losing momentum and replacing force with politeness after realizing there were no stronger lawful moves left. That's what legal clarity does in situations like this. When you understand exactly where police powers begin and end, pressure loses much of its grip. Calmly asking whether you are detained, requesting the search record, and asserting lawful boundaries can completely change the direction of an encounter. So what would you have done? Would you have continued filming after the search ended, or moved on once officers began asking despite admitting you were free to stay?
You haven't gone about this very well at all. You need to respect the public's right to film from a public place. As I mentioned, you need to work with photographers, public photographers, to help identify criminals.
You also need to work with us, we don't know anything about it.
I don't need to work with you at all.
Well, you do, because at the moment
You should encourage this sort of public photography and citizen journalism. You shouldn't be trying to obstruct and impede my rights to film from a public place. What's that? What are you deliberating over? I'm free to go, right?
Well, the legislation.
Yeah.
You've obviously refused your details.
Yeah.
And the legislation covers us to be able to search you.
Yes.
And also to examine your phone as well.
Right, but the search is complete. You said the search is complete.
I've completed the search now, but you wanted a copy of the search.
And that I'm free to go.
Yeah, but the power's still.
Well, no, the power's no, because the search is complete. You should have launched with that.
Show us your phone anyway.
I don't need to show you the phone.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. The search is complete, sir.
Under section 43.
The search is complete.
I've completed the search now, but you wanted a copy of the search.
No, just because we finished physically touching you.
Yeah, but the search was complete. I was free to go. Yeah, but am I free to go?
You are free to go.
All right. You said the search is over. You need to be very careful about what you do now.
Okay. Can you show us your phone? Yeah.
No, I don't want to show you the phone. No.
The power allows us to. So.
No, it doesn't. The process was complete. You said I'm no longer detained and I'm free to go. Am I still detained?
Yeah. No, you're not saying
Okay,
that. No.
thank you. Yeah, but am I free to go?
You are free to go.
All right, go. Now you're just stretching your jurisdiction now. Listen, you guys have already messed up. I suggest you don't take this any further.
Show us what's on your phone.
Why should I show you on the phone?
Well,
what?
You can control it.
I don't want to consensually show you what's on the phone.
But it's not with consent because we're exercising the power to do it.
But it is with consent because I don't need to show you what's on the phone. All I've done is film this.
Well, then I'll take it and have a look at it.
So you're going to seize the phone if I don't show you?
Yeah.
Okay, so under duress and under threat of having my property stolen and seized,
No,
I'm going to show.
under the Terrorism Act.
Yes, but the search was complete, Sergeant.
No.
I don't want to show you the phone.
No.
The search was complete.
The physical search of you was complete.
The search was complete. I was free to go. You said I'm no longer detained. The search extends to my phone.
Power extends to your phone.
No, the search extends to my phone. You should have done that whilst the search was ongoing.
So-
I don't want to show you the phone.
So we will seize the phone if you don't give it to us.
All right, I'm going to show you. All right, I'm going to show you under duress and under threat of having my property seized. I'm going to show you. Okay.
So you've got another phone.
I've got another phone. That's right. This is my personal phone.
My colleague would like to look at that one, please.
Why? I haven't used this phone to.
It's the same.
I haven't used this phone to record.
The legislation doesn't specify that.
No,
that's
you're
what we have
just
to
you're just violating my rights, right? You're violating my rights at the moment.
Things took another dramatic turn the moment officers tried reviving a search they had already said was over. After clearly telling him he was free to go, they suddenly pivoted and began demanding access to his phone, even threatening seizure when he refused to comply. That instantly reignited the legal tension in the encounter, and the auditor caught the contradiction immediately. Instead of getting flustered or reacting emotionally, he focused on the timing of what had just happened. The officers had already confirmed he was no longer detained, which meant they now had to justify an entirely new demand under a completely different legal basis. That's where the pressure shifted back onto them. You could actually hear uncertainty creeping into the conversation as the officers struggled to explain how someone could be free to leave while simultaneously being pressured to hand over a personal device. Once the legal status became inconsistent, the encounter started looking less like clear procedure and more like overreach unfolding in real time. That was the turning point. The moment officers tried extending powers beyond the detention they themselves had already ended, the justification began sinking under its own contradictions. What made the exchange so effective was the auditor's calm refusal to let confusion control the situation. He kept forcing the interaction back to legal status and lawful authority instead of vague pressure or implication. That's an important lesson in encounters like this. When you understand exactly when detention begins and ends, uncertainty becomes far less powerful. Calmly asserting boundaries, protecting access to your personal devices, and demanding a clear legal basis can completely change the balance of an interaction. So what would you have done in that moment? Would you have unlocked the phone after being told you were free to go, or continued refusing even with the threat of seizure hanging over the encounter?
Way beyond the powers.
This is obviously not the first time that you've come to a police station to film, because I can see on here that you've done it a few times before.
Okay.
But you didn't tell us that earlier. So
I don't have to tell you that.
No, you lied.
Well, it's
You said
not.
no.
Well, it's not an offence to lie, is it? There is a legitimate purpose for my
It's
filming.
like London.
Pick this back up. I don't have to. I don't have to explain my motivation.
You don't have to, but then you raise suspicion, don't you?
But the search was complete, and then you've then gone and looked through my phone. And under threat of it being seized, I've allowed you to do so.
The search wasn't complete.
The search was complete. The search extends to the phone during the time in which I was detained. The time in which the search was complete. That's it. You can't then go and... Yes, because I can still be here. I'm in a public place. You said that I'm free to go, so I'm free to stay. So the search was complete, and then you've then taken it upon yourself to take my phone from me and look through it.
Okay, well, you were still detained at that point.
I was not still detained at that point. I've got it all on. I've got it all on camera, mate. I wasn't still detained at that point.
I wasn't aware that you weren't detained. I wasn't aware that you weren't detained. I wasn't aware that you weren't detained. And for the purpose of that, I've detained you for it. We've gone through.
So you've re-detained me again, have you?
It's part of the same detention.
It's part of the same detention. I don't think it was part of the same detention.
The same grounds apply as the initial search. So
I was detained twice. So can I get your search slip and your grounds?
It's not like.
You know you've messed up big time now.
No,
you have.
No.
You have. I think you know it as well.
I think you've come here to bridge a gap or to find out how police operate or
right. To exercise my right to film from a public place.
Yeah, but it's clearly not the first time. You're aware of the legislation.
I'm aware, and I'm aware that the legislation does not give you powers to search through my phone, to detain, to search, or stop me.
I'll show you that it does.
I've read the legislation. Look at the Met Police website. That gives specific guidelines, and there's an NPCC memo that gives specific advice on how to deal with public photographers. And whilst you have to be vigilant against terrorism, you have to equally respect the public's right to take photographs.
That's fine.
It's black and white. I'm not. You've infringed on my rights. So yes, you have disrespected me.
That's not being disrespectful. We've used legitimate powers to do that.
No, you haven't used legitimate powers because there's specific guidance about this.
Okay. Well, we can disagree on that all day, but that
all right.
Achieve anything with it.
Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, you're now not detained, so you're free to stay, go, or do whatever you want.
All right, I'll be staying. Thank you.
Okay.
Don't look at me like that.
I just can't work out what you're doing. Okay, fine.
Can you get me a copy of the search, please?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Thank you.
What just played out is exactly why rights and legal knowledge matter so much during police encounters. The officers tried to reframe what had happened as a simple misunderstanding, suggested the detention somehow continued even after saying he was free to go, and leaned once again on vague suspicions surrounding public filming. But the auditor never allowed confusion to replace clarity. Instead, he calmly pressed the timeline, referenced photography guidance, and kept forcing the officers back to one issue above everything else: legal status and lawful authority. That's what made this exchange so powerful. He did not get distracted by tone, emotion, or pressure. He pinned everything to sequence and procedure. The moment he made the officers acknowledge that he had already been told he was free to go, you could hear the confidence begin draining from the encounter. The balance shifted immediately from officers controlling the narrative to an informed citizen demanding answers for every contradiction in real time. That changed everything. What started as authority projecting certainty suddenly looked like officials struggling to explain powers that no longer clearly existed. It was like watching authority step onto a trapdoor of its own making and then trying to pretend the fall was still part of the procedure. Encounters like this are a reminder that legal knowledge creates leverage. When you understand detention, timing, grounds, and the limits of police powers, intimidation loses much of its force. Calmly tracking the sequence of events and asking direct legal questions forces authority to explain itself clearly instead of relying on confusion or pressure. Study the rules, stay composed, and make power justify every intrusion properly. So what do you think? Did the officer genuinely misunderstand whether the detention had ended, or did he realize too late that the legal power had already run out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more breakdowns like this where rights, police powers, and accountability are explained in plain English, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and stay with the channel. Because when the public understands the law, power has far fewer places to hide.